bit of sunburn. You know, in that way when you look at your arms in the bright sunlight, you think, oh no, it's fine. And I know tonight it's going to be a little bit tingly. Such a long winter, isn't it? We get all peely-wally. Guys, on the water's edge, a very common plant around Galloway and the west of Scotland is this guy here. This is both a medicinal and a flavoursome plant as well. But the part that we would normally eat for flavour is the flower. And the flower looks like candy floss, creamy coloured candy floss. It grows in all the hedgerows and out of all the ditches and riverbanks around Galloway. And this is called meadowsweet. Is that familiar to anyone? Meadowsweet?
Meadowsweet.
Okay. It looks kind of like candy floss growing out of the ditch sides, and if you smell it, it smells of almonds and freshly blown hay and vanilla. Really, really lovely. The leaves, not quite so tasty. These are more on the medicinal side of the plant. So in terms of medicine, this is where they first found salicylic acid, which is the active component in aspirin. And the old binomial name for this is Spireum. Spireum something, Filipendula spireum, I think. And the sp bit is the sp in aspirin. So this does the same job. It will thin your blood. In the same, you guys can tell me more about this, I'm sure. But it will thin your blood in the same way as aspirin does, and can work as an analgesic, as pain relief, basically. And you know, this is not just theoretical. I try to avoid hangovers a little bit nowadays. But if I have got a headache and I'm out and about, I will roll up a few of these leaves in a bowl and just swallow them like pills, and it does help. I've actually had somebody on one of my walks, and when I showed them this plant, they recognised it. They've been trekking in the Himalaya, and they got to a certain altitude and started getting sort of altitude headaches. And their guide, their Sherpa, said, "Oh, this plant grows right here just for this very purpose," and pointed to this or their very close relation that grows out there. And they says, this is what we take when we get the altitude headaches, and they ate some, and half an hour later their heads were perfectly fine. So really good, gentle on the stomach, unlike aspirin. So you know, really useful. If you want to try a bit of the leaf, unfortunately they do taste a little bit medicinal. Not highly recommending them as food.
Nice smell.
Yeah, but if you crush them and smell them, you'll get a sense of that almondy, kind of nice almondy flavour. Sorry? Yeah, I'm not good on dosage. Yeah. What I would say is, you have to be quite careful when you're using the flowers in particular. If you're making them into infusing them, or especially if you're drying them, they contain coumarin, which is actually banned substance in some US states. I think it's for its blood thinning properties. Yeah. And especially if you dry it, this is more of the sciencey side. If you dry meadowsweet flowers badly, so they don't thoroughly dry, coumarin converts into dicoumarin or dicoumarol, and which is even much more pungent in those states. So it's one to be careful with. But the flowers are delicious, and they have the lovely almondy flavour. Look out for them. They'll be all, well, you know where it is now. You're all pretty local. You'll see it here. If you come back here and tune into it in about a month's time, you have these lovely, like cotton wool candy floss sticking up. They smell amazing. Can infuse them in the same way as elderflowers. Really lovely.